Islam Makhachev. Dude goes up one weight class, goes up to 170. He was the 55-pound most dominant champion ever, most title defenses at 55 ever. Just dominates at 170. Like, every round. People are saying it's boring, but listen, man, it's boring if you're a casual. The fact that he was able to do it every round, it was a little frustrating because you wanted Jack to try to adjust.
Молодец, Islam. Дорогу осели идущие или бегущие?
Бегущие. Что накидываешь?
In Islam's training, he's a professional. This is the guy that you just wind him up, let him go. He's learned everything so well. You know, Islam is the one fighter that I don't have to worry if I'm with them or not with them. I don't need to work his mental. I don't need to work nothing. All I need to do is me and Khabib, we just tell him what the game plan is. He'll execute it. And I've always said it time and time again. He's the kind of guy we can change round by round, minute by minute, second by second, and he'll just follow our instructions. I've never known Islam Makhachev not to follow Khabib's or my instructions or the other coach, Dave Sapula's advice on how he should fight. He is the perfect professional, and he is the guy that deserves to be pound for pound number one. And he is.
My defense and my fight IQ is second to none in this game. The more fights I have, the more people are going to understand and respect it. And I think that's why he's saying all these things, is he knows this is a tricky fight. And when he goes to bed and when he, just before he's about to close his eyes, he goes, this is going to be tougher than I think. And he can say what he wants to the camera, but to himself, internally within the team, they don't have someone that emulates my style. They don't have someone with these eyes. These are what makes this fight different.
Maybe, just maybe, despite him being against the odds, because we know Islam Makhachev's going to be a favorite here, maybe, just maybe, the Boys & Co do it again. Okay? Hear me out. Strickland pulled it off against Chimaev. Gaethje just pulled off the impossible against Ilia Topuria. And you're telling me that I shouldn't pick Ian Machado Gary to defeat Islam Makhachev in the main event and school him over 5 rounds? Come on! This is how it works, right? This is just the way things go, folks. I don't make the rules of MMA. I really don't. But there's an underdog there. And his name's Ian Machado Gary. And he should lose. And Islam Makhachev's on this GOAT horizon. And man, if he wins this one, we may have to have some uncomfortable...
Islam Makhachev fighting Ian Machado Gary in August.
I think it's going to be a good fight. Ian Gary, it's definitely a tough opponent. Very good striker. But Islam, once again, his goal going to be to bring the fight to the ground. If he's able to do that, he's going to have an edge. If Ian Gary is able to keep it on the feet, Islam has the edge in terms of skills because he's more well-rounded. He can do it all.
Gary, Islam Makhachev. Islam Makhachev, too tough for Gary. Gary has a good striking. I think on the striking, Gary on the long distance with his kicks, he can make problem for Islam. But Islam has a good timing of takedown. He's gonna take him down and most likely submit round number 3. So, yeah.
The countdown is officially on for one of the most talked about fights of the year, as Islam Makhachev gets ready to share the cage with Ian Machado Gary. With the date drawing nearer by the day, the reigning champion has already thrown himself completely into camp. Makhachev has never been the type to leave anything to chance or scramble at the 11th hour, and the discipline he is famous for is on full display right now as he grinds through the work day after day. Every layer of his game is being refined, from drilling techniques to fine-tuning his timing, sharpening his reactions, and driving his body to a place few competitors could even picture. Yet the detail that has truly caught people off guard lately has nothing to do with sweat and conditioning. Makhachev has started peeling back the curtain on something far more personal than anything that unfolds on the mats. He has been talking openly about his mentality, the way he processes the sport, and the inner drive that keeps him operating at an elite level fight after fight, offering fans a rare window into his thoughts. And what he reveals is equal parts gripping and motivating. He has stressed that facing Gary is not simply another name penciled onto a fight card. To Makhachev, each marquee bout is a step forward, a fresh chance to prove a point, and one more opportunity to carve his legacy deeper into the record of mixed martial arts. He treats this clash as a meaningful chapter in his own story, and he is meeting it with the gravity and focus you would expect from a man who has already ruled his division. Which leaves the question burning in everyone's mind. What exactly is Islam Makhachev letting slip from behind the closed doors of his camp? What is truly running through his head? And how does he honestly view the test that Ian Machado Gary is about to put in front of him?
Если отбросить в сторону трэш-ток от Иэна Гэри, как бы ты оценил его в роли президента? В чем он апатия?
Трэш-ток. Как может человек вообще трэш-током заниматься, который вчера-позавчера проиграл? Мне вообще без разницы на его трэш-ток. Просто может... В этом и есть польза, но это меня никак ничем не цепляет.
Вот есть виза какие-то сложности в его стиле?
Да, у него сложный стиль. Постоянно убегает, назад идет, отступает постоянно, его все прижимают. Такой, не сказать, что он и зрелищный соперник. Есть еще вот в плане того, что для зрелищности боя тот же Моралес умеет бороться, тот же Моралес нападает сам. Но нападает это точно не про Яна Гэри.
Вот Ян отрабатывает защиту от проходов. Надо ли тебе отрабатывать, я не знаю, стойку для того, чтобы, в случае чего...
Именно да, собственно, проходы надо отрабатывать больше. Я уже говорил и повторюсь, что это так не работает. За 3-4 для полгода невозможно бороться научиться. Этот Мандалена тоже очень много отрабатывал, кого-то привлекал, там весь кемп готовился. Ну, не знаю, сколько, 5 попыток и 5 переводов было в этом бою.
The very top of this game, we genuinely want to hear your voice on it. What is your real, unfiltered read on everything we have laid out here? Are you convinced that Makhachev is operating in a tier all by himself at the moment, with another commanding, statement-making performance waiting just ahead? Or do you lean toward the idea that Ian Machado Gary has the weapons, the self-assurance, and the blueprint to stride into that octagon and genuinely rattle the cage in a way almost nobody sees coming? This is one of those bouts where the back and forth leading up to it can be nearly as fun as the fight itself, and what you think truly counts. Drop your forecasts in the comment section below and let the rest of the community know precisely where you land. We want to know who you are backing, how you expect it to wrap up, and which round you would stake your money on. And if breaking this one down with us today was a good time for you, take a quick second to smash that like button, because it honestly does more for us than you would ever guess. Be sure you are subscribed to the channel so none of our upcoming coverage slips past you, and tap that notification bell so you are always first in line whenever we drop a fresh MMA breakdown. There is plenty more strong content heading your way, and you really do not want to be left out of this conversation. What makes Makhachev's story so gripping is that it stretches well past simply turning up and delivering clinics inside the cage. This is someone who has reflected deeply on his own path. And when he describes it, you can feel that each sentence is rooted in honest self-examination and hard-earned experience. As a two-time champion, he has climbed to a level only a tiny handful of fighters ever touch. But when he traces it back to the beginning, he is the first to admit that his self-belief never arrived in one sudden cinematic flash. There was no single morning where he simply decided he would become the greatest on the planet. That is not the way it played out for him at all. His confidence instead built up gradually, steadily, and naturally as the years passed. He has pointed to his amateur days as the real turning point. While most young fighters at that stage are still grasping the fundamentals and finding their feet, Makhachev was already trading with seasoned professionals. He was beating men with genuine experience, real coaching, and established careers in combat sports. And he was doing it while still an amateur. That is the moment something shifted inside him. That is when he understood, calmly and without any noise, that he had everything required to reach the very top. And here is a crucial piece of what that realization meant to him. Money was nowhere in his thinking. He was not viewing fighting as a career play or a road to fame and fortune back then. It was about the sport and nothing else. About challenging himself, stretching his limits, and discovering exactly how far his talent could carry him. The ambition led the way, and every other reward trailed behind it. That kind of clean motivation is uncommon in any discipline, and it speaks volumes about the type of competitor Islam Makhachev is. His climb to the summit was never an overnight affair. It was assembled piece by piece across years of patience, through countless training hours, through defeats that handed him lessons, and through victories that fed his belief. He had an elite team surrounding him and the inner hunger to squeeze value out of every resource within reach. Nothing went to waste. Every experience, pleasant or painful, was converted into something that sharpened him and rounded out his game. That patience is exactly what separates Makhachev from so many of his peers. In an era obsessed with instant payoffs and quick rewards, he chose the slow route. He was content to wait, content to keep grinding even before the major chances showed up, and content to trust the process when momentum felt sluggish. That outlook, more than any single move or physical gift, is what shaped him into the dominant force he is today. Sitting atop the lightweight division and gearing up for yet another huge assignment, Makhachev brings all of that accumulated experience along with him. Every camp he has endured, every rival he has met, every brutal round he has weathered in the gym has stacked another layer onto the fighter he has grown into. And when he meets Ian Machado Gary inside the octagon, all of that history will be standing right beside him, quietly tipping the scales. Gary, to be fair, is far from an easy knight. He is a young, self-assured, technically gifted striker who packs real power and has looked sharp throughout his run so far. He trusts himself entirely, and he is not stepping into this contest carrying any doubt or nerves. He has flatly stated that he believes he can march in there and pull off one of the most shocking upsets the sport has seen in years. That mentality earns respect, and it makes this pairing legitimately thrilling on paper. Yet waiting opposite him is a man who has survived wars, who has been examined at the highest level imaginable, and who has emerged intact every single time. Makhachev is not someone who gets shaken by swagger or loud predictions. He lets his performances speak, and they have been roaring for a very long stretch now. The blend of his wrestling, his grappling, his control on the canvas, and his constantly sharpening striking makes him one of the most well-rounded fighters alive today, no matter the weight class. The real riddle heading into this one is whether Gary can keep the action upright long enough to lean on his reach and his speed, or whether Makhachev will manage to drag him into the kind of grim territory where the champion becomes nearly impossible to beat. That is the strategic knot sitting at the heart of this showdown, and it is one that fans across the globe are completely fixated on right now.